So this is kind of a jump for us. We went from a system of inequalities that only had 2 to one that has 4 inequalities. All I have to do is piece by piece graph these guys. Okay? And then you're going to look for that common area of intersection. Now the most difficult guy up here to graph is going to be the first one, because he hasn't been solved for y. So it means we have a little bit of work to do there. So I would take this first guy right here, write this out, and show all of my steps for getting y by itself. So what would I have to do first?
You would move the 3x into the other side of the inequality.
Move the 3x to the other side, so that's negative 3x plus 8, and then what do I do? I don't want to divide by 2, but by negative 2. So I have y as what? And it's not y equals, there's an inequality here.
Greater than or equal to.
Why is it greater than?
Less than or equal to.
I divided by negative, right? So this will become greater than or equal to. So greater than or equal to, I hope that we are now going to pay attention to our signs. Negative divided by negative will give me a positive 3/2 x, and I'll get a minus 4 over here. So from this, what's your slope and what's your y-intercept?
3 over 2.
Your slope is 3 over 2. Your y-intercept is 0, negative 4, right? So is this guy going to be solid or dashed? And you're going to shade where? Since it says y is greater than, you're going to shade above. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this on our graph. We have 0, negative 4. And I've got a slope of 3/2. So up 3 over 2. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put the midpoints on here just because the more points I have, the more accurate I'm going to be. So draw your nice straight line through these points. And make your little notes. I'm going to shade where? I'm going to be shading above. That means right now, if I were to stop right now, my solution set would be everything on this side of the line. Do you all agree? So when I start putting more and more inequalities on here, it's going to be more and more restrictive because I'm looking for the intersection. Okay. So let's look at y is less than or equal to negative 1/3 x plus 3. What do you know about this guy? What do we know?
Slope is negative 1/3.
Slope is negative 1/3. What's the y-intercept?
Positive 0, positive 3.
0, 3, solid or dashed?
Solid.
It will be solid, and we're going to shade where? Solid and shade below. All right. So the y-intercept is 0, 3. Please remember to put your y-intercepts on the y-axis and nowhere else. So 0, 3. Slope of negative 1/3, so down 1 and over 3. I hope by now graphing lines is something that we don't have to think about too much. Bless you. It says shade below, so I know I have to be on this side of that original line, that first guy. I'm shading below. If things were to stop right now, do you see the region that would be the solution set? It would be everything right here. But I still have 2 more inequalities to graph, so it's going to make it even more restricted. Okay. So How would you graph the other ones? How would you graph y is greater than negative 3? What kind of line is this?
Horizontal.
Horizontal, going through negative 3. And it's going to be what kind of line?
Dash.
It's going to be dashed, which means when I go here at 0, negative 3, it's going to be an open circle. And so all the way across here is a dashed line. And which way would I shade on this guy? I'm going to shade above, so I would be right here. Now I'm not putting arrows up on this side because I basically kind of blocked that guy off. I know I'm not going to be over here. And I already had to be in this little section right here, and now I made it even more restricted, so I have to be somewhere right here. Now it comes time for this last part. X is greater than or equal to negative 5. So what do you know about that guy?
Solid.
Solid, what else? What does the graph look like? It's a vertical line going through negative 5. Solid, and you said it's solid, so let's go ahead and get that guy on here. Which way would he shade? Since there's no y here, we can't talk about shading above or shading below. So what do I do? X's are greater than, so that's going to be on the right side, over here. So do you guys see where my area is, my solution set? It's going to be this area right here, because that's where everybody's pointing. Now in terms of intersection points for these lines, if you have two solid lines intersecting like right here, you get to include that point. You get to include this point over here. What about where there's an intersection with a dashed line? Do you get to include those? No, because it's not included for both of them. So this would actually be an open circle here and here in terms of that solution set. Any questions about the shape that we have here?